You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? I love talking all things auditions. I just love it. It's something I'm so passionate about because auditions are something that I used to be terrible at. I used to dread them. I, at one point, didn't even put myself forward for auditions. I really hid away from them because I found them too hard and was telling myself the story that I was rubbish at auditions. And then something happened. I changed the story in my head and I started to love auditions. And that is what I want for you. I want you to love them. So in this episode, we are going to be digging deep into auditions, and I'm going to be sharing with you 4 key things that you need to remember at them to help them become a much more enjoyable experience, especially if you're one of those kind of actors who struggles with them the way I did in the early days, or who finds them very, very intimidating or nerve-wracking, or, get stuck inside their head as well. This is definitely for you. And if you do feel comfortable and confident with auditions, I still think there's something for you to learn from this as well. Now, one of the things I do inside the Method Actor Circle, because I know so many actors struggle with auditions, is I have a class called the Audition Zone, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love it so much because my aim with the Audition Zone is to get you feeling super confident with your auditions, and also to get you creating characters that wow the casting panel, where they see you as the actor either on the slate saying who your name and your agent is if it's a self-tape, or they see you walking into the space if it's an in-person audition. And then the moment you get into the scene, they just see this character, they see you metamorphosize into this character and it oozes out of you, and they're like, how is this even the same person? That's the kind of level I want you to get your auditions at, and that's what I aim for inside the Audition Zone. And so in the Audition Zone, what you do is you bring to me your upcoming audition pieces. These 4 things that I'm going to share with you in today's episode will never ever ruin another audition again, because I've already given you the key exercises that you need to work with to get you to connect deeper to the piece. You're feeling good about it, which in turn increases your presence and your ability to connect to the emotions and to connect to the character, and you just have an amazing old time and you start to love auditions. And actually what happened to me is I started to get a bit addicted to them. I was like, oh my God, I need another and another and another. Where am I getting my next audition from? And that's the kind of feeling I want you to get, because when it's exciting, oh my gosh, it's just the best feeling ever. Now, auditions can feel exciting, they can feel stressful. Do you ever notice that this thing happens? It depends where you are in your acting career. If you're relatively new, you might not have been to that many auditions. If you've been at this a little bit longer, I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. So what used to happen to me is I would never ever get the roles that I really, really, really wanted. The ones that I was really invested in, that I'd imagine myself playing and getting cast in, never got them. The roles that I approached in a bit more of a nonchalant way, where I was like, yeah, I'm really grateful that I've got an audition, I'm excited for it, but I'm not that excited about this character. They were the ones that I always got. Has anybody else experienced that? Do you know where I'm coming from? Do you know why this is? It's because with the characters that we approach, where we're a bit more nonchalant, a bit more laid back with them, we're not nervous. We're not nervous. So we actually do a better job. Nerves are the occupational disease of the actor. This is the first thing we're going to work on in the Audition Zone. It's the first thing we work on in all method acting training, is getting in control of these nerves, not allowing these nerves to block you out of your imagination, not allowing these nerves to block you off from the character, not allowing these nerves to take over to such a degree that you're a quivering wreck. We don't want that. Absolutely not. So although I'm not going to go into nerves on a very, very, very deep level and teach you about them and teach you how to release them, the 4 key things that you need to remember at auditions all link back into nerves. Surprise, surprise. And the first one is, don't worry about what other actors are doing. Do you know why those are nerves? Because in method acting, nerves are mental tension. Mental tension is any thought that blocks you from your pure imagination. So if you are worrying about what other actors are doing with the same character you're going for, you have tapped into mental tension. You are going to be nervous because you are now in a state of comparison, of wondering, of worry. Whereas actually, we want to be in our pure imagination so we can express the essence of the character. But you can't do that when you're worrying about what other actors are doing. And quite frankly, it doesn't matter what other actors are doing, because one thing you've got to make friends with is no other actor is going to share the same scene that you're doing in the exact same way that you deliver it. It just doesn't happen. How can that be possible? We've all got our own unique imaginations. We've all got our own unique life experience, and we've all got our own unique perspective on things, which is a combination of imagination and life experience. So no other actor is going to deliver a monologue the same way you do, or deliver a scene the same way you do. So you might as well just make peace with that and go, it's not even worth it, is it? It's not even worth giving my energy to worrying about what other actors are doing. And it's interesting because in a free workshop that I ran at the end of January, that was one of the things that cropped up, because I got the actors to go into a room together in groups of 5 and perform the monologues to each other. And a lot of them were saying, oh my God, I was so aware that all the actors were doing it differently to me. And what that's telling me is, if you're having those kind of thoughts, you don't believe in yourself as an actor, you don't believe in your choices. And when you don't believe in your choices, you'll never connect to the character. You'll never do something different with them. You'll never make your acting stick in the casting panel's mind. So you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it worrying about what other actors are doing? My answer is no, absolutely not. Because that mental tension will poison your creation. They will poison that character. They will poison your work. That's why it's called the occupational disease of the actor. If you think about the word disease, what does that make you think of? It makes me think of things that are a bit ugly and not in alignment and not pure, not nice to experience. That's what I think of, but what do you think of when you hear the word disease? So don't worry about what other actors are doing. It's none of your business anyway. It's not going to help you get the role. Focus on the things that will help you get the role, which is number 1, relaxing, number 2, tapping into your imagination, and number 3, enjoying playing the character. I think sometimes at auditions we forget that we're here because we enjoy acting, we love it, we're passionate about it. So why am I putting all this pressure on myself? It's just a bloody audition. It's not the end of the world. The casting panel are not going to go, right, you did a shit job, so that's it, you don't walk out of this room alive. That just does not happen. And that's the worst thing that could happen, right? All that will happen is your ego might be a little bit dented, a little bit bruised. You'll feel a particular way about the rejection if you don't get the role. But there's plenty more auditions out there. We are not scarce, is that the right word? There's not a lack of auditions, that's what I'm trying to say. There'll always be auditions, so don't worry about what other actors are doing. The second thing you need to do is be confident in your choices, which follows on from what I've just said about not worrying about what other actors are doing. Be confident in the choices that you are making. Know that they are coming from your ideas and your imagination, which have been switched on by what you've read in the script. Be confident in your choices, knowing that you are bringing your unique imagination and your unique life experience and your unique take on this. As we are playing humans, and humans come in all shapes and sizes and personality traits, and they've all got different inner worlds, emotional lives and physical lives and mental lives, the way they think, the things that they do. It really, you can't think about acting being like a paint by numbers type thing. It's not, oh, I play this character and there's only one way you can play it. No, that's not the human condition. We're all so different. You could get 50 males in a room, all the same skin colour, all the same ethnicity, all the same hair colour, all the same haircut, all the same eye colour, all had a similar upbringing or similar life experience, and yet they're all going to be unique. There's going to be something different about each one of those. So be confident in your choices, because humans are not robots. Find the thing in the character that rings true to you, based on the evidence that you've had in the script. Because when you're confident, it's the opposite of being nervous. When you're confident, what happens is you don't shrink, you don't hide. You play out your choices in full, and either they land with the casting director or they don't. It's impossible for you to know what idea the casting director or the casting panel have got in their head for the character. It's just absolutely impossible. All you can do is take the character brief, the character breakdown, the description, Allow it to conjure up some ideas in your imagination and play with that, run with it and be confident. You've got to know at auditions as well, if they feel like you're a good fit for the role, but you're just a little bit off with it, they'll redirect you anyway. When you're confident in your choices, you'll also start taking more risks with your characters, because you'll get that idea in your head and you'll go, oh yeah, I really see the character like this. But rather than shy away from it and go, oh no, but it's a bit scary to do that, you'll actually do it because you're training yourself to be confident. Now, I'm not saying this is going to land you every single role, but what I'm saying is you want to be going in there presenting your brand, presenting who you are as an artist, because that's what makes people remember you. When you've gone in there confident and you've left something in the room. So be confident in your choices. The third thing you need to remember about auditions is you've got to take the character on a journey. Don't get stuck in emotions. Don't get stuck standing on a spot doing nothing. Characters behave. Take them on a journey. Where do they start? Where do they end? And as you're taking them on that journey, enjoy it. Enjoy living through their life. God, aren't we so lucky as actors that we get to play other characters without the consequences of being them? So if you play a murderer, you get to really get into a murderer's psyche. And God, what makes them tick? What makes them think that this is desirable behaviour? What makes them think that this is right and justified? And you get to do that without the consequences. We get to play characters without having to deal with the stuff they're going through in our life. And that is what is exciting. So take the character on a journey. And you can only take the character on a journey if you know what that journey is and you yourself as an actor are invested in it and you're invested in telling that story. I find that so exciting to do because it's like, okay, who is this person? Where are they starting? Where do they want to end up? Where do they actually end up? What does that look like? Like for me, that gets my imagination whirring. And that's what we want. It's all an active imagination. The fourth thing is leave your character preparation at the door. You don't need to share how much character preparation you've done just to impress. You should always let the prep talk through the character. Let your talent do the talking. That's what I always tell my paying students. If they ask you, how have you prepped for the character? You don't have to go into all of the detail. You can say little bits and pieces, but then really you want to let the scene leave something with the casting panel as opposed to you talking yourself out of a job, because that can happen. I've had it when people have auditioned to come and train at standby and they've told me all these things that they've done. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. And they've built up this big picture in my head and then what they've done has been completely different to that. The other reason to leave your character prep at the door, I went off on a little tangent there, but I thought that was important to add in. But the other reason to leave your character prep at the door is because if you cling on to it and you try to play out everything that was in the preparation, you'll get stuck in your head. And when you're stuck in your head, that's mental tension, which will then create tension in the body, tension in the emotions. It causes you to become tense as an actor and you cannot express the essence of the character when you are tense. So let's recap on these things. What are the 4 key things to remember at auditions? Don't worry about what other actors are doing. Be confident in your choices. Take the character on a journey and leave all your character prep at the door. Just to add on to that final one about leaving your character prep at the door, that's about trusting yourself. That's about knowing, actually, I've done enough prep work and it's in there. It's in there somewhere. It's inside of me and it'll come out when I'm relaxed. Can you see now why I said earlier on in the episode that all of these 4 things link back into nerves? Because when we're worrying about what other actors are doing, when we're not confident in our choices, when we're scared to take the character on a journey or we just don't, or when we're leaving, when we're thinking too much about the character preparation and when it's coming out, it's all nervous energy. That's what it's causing to happen. And that nervous energy disconnects you from that character, or at least only plugs you into them like 65%, 75%. I know when I go into auditions, I want to be that character 100%. So I hope this has been useful. And just as a reminder, we have the audition zone inside the Method Actor Circle. And these are the things that I go through with you with practical exercises to release the nerves and get you into that character 100%. So go and check it out. Click the link underneath the episode. Have a read up on it. It's incredible. We've got actors from all around the world in the Method Actor Circle. And every single class gets recorded. How exciting. So you can watch it back And if you were in the live class, you can see how you actually developed. You can see your own development because you're watching it back. And you can also just dip into those classes anytime you need them. So if you've got an audition that comes up and you're like, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm panicking, I don't know what to do, go and watch some of the Audition Zone classes. Even just watching one would help you, and follow the exercises along that I do in there with the actors who joined live. And that is good enough preparation. So you get the option to watch the classes live, participate in them live, watch the recordings, or do both. And that is what is so incredible about the Method Actors Circle. So I hope to see you in there.
I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.